Hey everyone, welcome to video number 4 in my series of 50 videos celebrating my 50th birthday and my love of tabletop role-playing games. My name is Paul. I'll be your GM for a little while. I'm sure you don't mind that I have ditched the introductory music and intro and all that kind of good stuff because, well, we don't know what this is going to turn into yet, but it may come back, it may not. But I know most people, myself included, like to get right into whatever it is the person in the video is talking about. And this particular video is about finding inspiration. You never know where you're going to find it. And so many times we look in our books, right, whether our D&D books or Pathfinder books or whatever resources we may have, and we're looking, and there is plenty of inspiration in there, but sometimes you have to look outside of those things, looking around you to find some inspiration. And just recently, I have a store near me called Second and Charles, and they have a bin of free books that are outside their store, and they are added to weekly, I believe, if not daily. And so I have found plenty of books there, but I always look in there for inspiration. So I am poking around in there, and lo and behold, what do I find but this awesome book? Fantastic, Fearsome Beast, Scary Monsters of Myths and Legends. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, Paul, isn't this book filled with just derivatives or even source material for where other monsters have come from in our monster manuals and such? Yes, that is true, but I think this book has first of all the simple dynamic of it. It's a not a big book like our gaming books. It is actually a book put out by Amber Books and put through the Scholastic, which is the school, like when you used to go to the book fair and so forth. The Scholastics books that they would have for sale there, and just looking through this book. I think inspiration comes when you just have a different feel and a different view and a different vibe on something. And yeah, like I said, there are probably in our books something that is something like this, or the creators found something, in this source and made it something. But I still think there's some inspiration to be found in looking through a book like this, just to kind of get our own ideas of what we want to play or what we want to put in there. So let me show you a few of these that I found to be most interesting. Let's start with this fantastic creature right here, the Bane Sashura. And as you notice in the top left there, not only the name there, but the pronunciation, which there has been much ado about how are creatures in your monster manuals and our creature books and whatnot, how are these pronounced? And we're always looking for, we want to be able to click on something and say, how is this pronounced? Like in dictionaries or other things where you have a word that, that's maybe in a foreign language, something like that. How is that pronounced? This gives you the pronunciation, which I think is fantastic. And you can see here, it kind of does kind of an anatomy deal here where it kind of points out the various features. And as you can see here, it has the head of a water buffalo. And I know it would be easy to say, well, this looks like a minotaur off the bat. But I think what makes it even scarier is that it's a water buffalo head. It's not a traditional creature, if you will, that you can tell well, it kind of looks like maybe a minotaur if they've seen one of those. But in reality, it is a water buffalo. The head there, it says, looks like a grotesque, overgrown bull. He has a flat forehead, large eyes, and so forth. I like what it says about the horns. If you look at the top right there, it says a pair of huge horns curved toward the back of the head, so they grow backwards, not upward. I like the body and the legs there. Basically, this is not it's kind of a slobby creature, if you want to call it that. It's got the big belly. It's almost like an old mafioso leg breaker here coming in. But I love the fact that the hands and the legs look like elephant. Maybe what an elephant might have. And so I think that makes for great little things you can do, like you could give this creature stampede, or you could add maybe some tusks, right? It has this wicked looking sword there. That's amazing. And the whole background, if you look on the right side of the page, it actually gives you the background in a clear and concise manner where you're not looking through pages of stats or stat boxes or anything like that. This is kind of an open deal here where you can kind of create your own thing, which I really enjoy. But it basically gives you a one-shot adventure. It literally does. If you read there, if you kind of look through it, it gives you like the, where it's located, like at the bottom there, it gives you the background that this is done in India. And basically this creature shows up on the lakes or rivers there, and it basically demands, extortion money for their children or their wives or whatever maybe this creature has taken from them. And it comes in and says, listen, you're going to pay me, or I'm going to, do something terrible to your family. And I like in the bottom right-hand corner where it gives you kind of this little did you know. You can kind of use that as some background flavor as well. It says the Bane Shashura isn't the only beast that is said to inhabit Lake Bariwa. In fact, this famous watering hole has two more demon spirits known as the Nag and the Nagin. Nagas are nature spirits and the protection of springs, wells, and rivers. In some stories, Nag and Nagin appear in the form of male and female water serpents. Now, you probably are familiar with that. If you've been gaming for any long time, you know what the Naga is, and these nasty little serpent creatures. But how cool would that be to have this whole river adventure where you're trying to protect, this village from this creature, and from, you go down, and maybe you have to go down into the river to actually, there's a layer underneath, or the river, as it says here, acts, as a pathway into another realm, into another plane. And maybe adventurers go into the plane, and they're actually in the world of the Naga, and they have to hunt down the lair, where this creature comes from, and they have to get the children back. So it really makes for a very cool one-shot adventure type deal that you can put your own stats in there. It gives you some more flavor in there, all this kind of good stuff. And that's it for today, guys. I just wanted to share some inspiration with you on looking for inspiration, that literally you can be inspired by anything. You can be inspired. Go to your local public library. Maybe go check out your museum in town and go check out some of the architecture or sculptures or things that are in there. Or maybe just go down to your Second and Charles and look through a bin of free books there, and maybe you might find what I found, which was just a little treasure book of some background and some really quick one-shot type adventures that could go on or become a campaign or something like that. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to hit the like button. If you really like the video, and maybe you like some of the content that I'm putting out, be sure to hit the subscribe button, and I'll be posting more videos on some of the things I like in tabletop role-playing. I have about 46 more videos to go, so until I reach 50, and then I'll decide after that what I'm going to do and keep doing with this channel. So anyway, that's it for today, guys. Be sure to leave your comments down below. What do you think? What would you add to these fantastic creatures? Where have you found inspiration lately? I would love to hear from you. So go ahead and leave your comment down below, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. See you later.